I don't know if you've heard any of our discussion today, but we have been talking about the number one villain in the minds of all things related to BYU sports, specifically fans. You are a player. You're a fan now. Who's the number one villain, Michael?
You know, I was going to say, hands down, Utah. And then I started thinking, might be the player from Utah State who injured Taysom.
That's
so I
what
don't
I
want to give
said.
him that benefit of being that famous. So I'm not even going to think about him. Get out of here, you. So
Get out of here, you.
I actually I give kudos to the guy that said the fair weather fan. I have to agree with that guy. I think that's our biggest enemy. That when you're getting eaten up from within, how can you be successful? Go ahead.
Did you feel the weight of that a little bit during the 4-game losing streak last year?
Oh, without question. And it was so heavy. I'll tell you that much. It's tough to know that part of your fan base isn't behind you. And just like you guys are saying, every team goes through those ups and downs, and there's always going to be those games that you barely lose. And that's just how football is. This past season we had 2 overtime losses, so those easily could have been wins, but we lose them, and all of a sudden people are saying that we're the worst team or the worst defense or the worst offense to ever play in BYU history. And you know, these are young boys from 18 to 25, and it's tough for, you know, their morale.
What about the other side of that, Michael? Where did you, maybe during the 4-game losing streak, when it's tougher, where did you get strength from, say, certain fans or fandom?
Other side, well, so I'd say that that's a very small minority that is fair weather, very, very small. I think for the most part, Cougar Nation is one of the greatest fan bases out here because, you know, we're nationwide. Everywhere we went, every away game, the stadium was packed with Cougar blue. And so I think that small minority speaks very loudly sometimes, but for the most part, we know that, you know, the majority is behind us and not just standing there, but pushing, and they're all bleeding blue. So, I mean, I don't want to harp on the negative, but I mean, I'll say this, that it's a very small deal, but it's there. Positive reinforcement comes in abundance for us, and the players recognize that. We try to block out the negative and embrace the positive, and there's plenty of positive to embrace.